Jojo, Golden Wind, episode 21. I thought we were gonna get a new opening this week, and we didn't, and that was kind of disappointing.
Mm.
But
actually,
I want it.
What?
No,
sorry,
what's
I
up?
was
What's
gonna.
up? What?
I feel intimidated already. They've been cutting out the endings for the past two
They
episodes.
have this. Yeah, like 70% of the episodes I feel like have had the endings. The other 30% do not, and it's interesting that they're really trying to squish. I remember when after I read part 5.
Yeah.
Because I read the manga. After I read part 5,
Stupid manga readers.
I decided to guess and estimate how many episodes the anime would be, and I was like, it's probably gonna be 40 to 44 episodes, but they're making it 39, and I was like, something's getting cut out or something. But it looks like they're just cutting out like a lot of the endings.
But do you think they're gonna leave anything out of the manga from the manga?
No, because they're doing this.
Okay. I mean, they don't even do the intermission anymore. They go straight opening, then the episode. They don't just wait for
recap?
Yeah, they don't do any recap. They don't have some climactic moment then start an opening. They just try to get it out as quickly as possible.
Yeah. But I want to hear your thoughts on the episode. I want to know what you liked, what you didn't like.
So I want to start off with King Crimson, Emperor Crimson. It throws me for a loop that this stand has been talking the entire time, and we have not seen the stand use his face the whole time. And I'm just like, this feels like a repeat of part 3. I'm not saying that it's in a bad way, but I'm just like, why are you just a shadowy figure? I want to see your face.
I will say, it's not gonna be like part 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be like, oh, Dio comes at the end and then that's it. It's not gonna be like that. I'm spoiling anything, but yeah. I feel like he's talking. It's the boss talking, but he's just talking through his stand. Whereas Sex Pistols is like, they're talking to Mista.
Right. But it's like, Sex Pistols is more like its own entity. It feels like the boss and the stand are one of the same. And I had a theory, and
That's really interesting that you said that.
Why?
It just is. Just keep going.
Okay. So pretty much, I was thinking, what was I gonna say? I don't want you to tell me if I'm wrong, but I just kept thinking that the Stand King Crimson was actually the controller, and that this boss was just there.
Bro, I won't spoil you because this isn't definite.
Okay.
But that's a fucking theory.
So no one knows.
Interesting. It's assumed that that's not the case, I guess.
Yeah.
But some people say that, yeah, King Crimson is literally like how part 3 Jotaro was like, I have an evil spirit in me.
Right.
It's like, no, this is literally this guy has an evil spirit.
It could be, because I'm like, we haven't seen the boss's face, and I'm just wondering, why are you speaking for the boss? Like, if you were just like, what was it? Did Black Sabbath talk? I feel there was a stand
Black Sabbath talked, but it was because he was like an automatic stand.
Right. If he was like an automatic stand with an already pre-recorded message, I would understand that.
Yeah.
But it's like, he's saying it word for word as if the boss is talking, so I'm just like, why are we not seeing the boss? And I want to think that, they're trying to really split the script on stand users and trying to add all these new attributes, so like, maybe the stand is the one in control.
Yeah.
Because if Mista stands can have their own personality, why can't the boss
Why
stand?
can't others, yeah.
Yeah.
Koichi's stand also had a personality.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah.
I love this stand.
So what'd you think about the stand's ability?
This would also remind me of part 3. My first thought was, you have the world, just like Jotaro and Dio, because it looked like he was stopping time, but apparently he's just reading the movements of like 5 to 10 seconds in the future. So I'm just wondering, does that mean
skipping time.
He's skipping time?
In the whole world. And I was always like fuzzy on it. It's known in the JoJo community to be really confusing, but it's not as confusing. It sounds like you basically get it.
Yeah.
It's not as confusing as people make it out to be.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he just skips time. Basically, he can do 2 things. He sees what happens in that time, that 10 seconds.
And then he just acts on it.
And he can be like, I like this, or he can be like, I don't like this, I'm skipping it. And he can skip time. Like,
I didn't see that.
Like, Giorno and Fugo is like, Jojo, can get me the water?
Right, and then he just has the water.
And then he was like, hey, by the way, I didn't thank you for getting me the water. And Jojo's like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's actually cooler.
Yeah,
I thought it was
cool?
just. I thought it was just him
affects
reading.
the whole
world.
I'm pretty sure it affects everybody.
Unless it has a radius, and then it's like anyone within a certain range.
Even if, that's still crazy. Right?
Yeah.
It's not just like him and the person he's fighting.
That's just like you. Just imagine that in form of like a team battle. Let's say I'm fighting somebody, you're fighting somebody, but because I use my King Crimson, you don't even realize that you got punched. Like, wait, how did I take that to the face? But that's a very interesting stand ability. You clarified that.
And then wasn't it cool when he was like moving through skip time?
I didn't think he was skipping time though. I thought it was just him like, okay, you're going to do this, so I'm gonna react ahead of time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, let's say I think you're about to slap me across my face. I'm just gonna move out the way.
Well, he's the only one that's seeing all of that. So King Crimson does two things.
Okay.
He can see 10 seconds into the future, and if that's not favorable to him, he can skip that time. And while he's skipping time, that's when you see Bruno when it looks like they're in space and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is doing what they would have done in that time frame. They're still doing it, but he can move in that time. So Bruno's, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
And you see that I'm gonna hit you. You skip it, and in that 10 seconds that you've skipped, I'm still doing this, but you can go behind me and like impale me with your fist like King Crimson.
I get what it is. I'm just like, why even bother skipping time if you can just react to it? Because what you're telling me is, in the time frame that he's removing or skipping, he's still reacting to it. Like he's still dodging the punch or he's still moving away. Why even bother erasing that moment? You know what I mean? Like if you're throwing
No, because he's erasing it for everybody else, but he's moving in it. If he can see, all right, so he sees 10 seconds in the future, you got that. And if you're gonna hit me in that 10 seconds, why am I gonna? It's like, by 10 seconds I mean like 1 to 10.
No, I understand.
So if I'm about to hit you, I have to skip immediately.
Right. No, I understand that, but I'm just saying in terms of actual movement, I'm like, maybe it's more just how the ability is written, but I'm just thinking, wouldn't it have been so much simpler to say, because I can see 1 to 10 seconds in the future, I just move myself rather than remove that time frame? Like those 5-10 seconds, I just feel it just.
I have to jump in. I'm gonna explain it so you can get it. So basically, if you're gonna get punched and there's nothing you can do, even though you can see in the future,
right,
you're still gonna get punched. But since he can skip time, he can erase
the time where he gets punched.
He can erase the time where he gets
exactly.
punched.
So he did get punched.
Yes, you still punching him, but he's skipping time, so you still get punched.
Oh. Yeah. So it's not that
he's not getting punched.
He's not getting punched because he skips the time.
He skips the time where he would have gotten punched.
I had it, then I lost.
While
it.
He's getting.
Y'all have me.
While he's getting. While he's about to get punched in that time, he dodges it. You're thinking too hard.
I feel like I am. Like
it's way
when he said it, I got it, and then when you went back, you lost it again. Okay, you know what?
People would be like, "Why is it?"
Yeah, because he gets punched.
Yeah.
But since he sees that, he can like you said, I don't like this, I'm gonna skip this. And
he sees he's gonna get punched,
and he can't avoid it because
he can't avoid it.
Yeah.
So he erases that moment. You know what? I'm gonna say I get it.
He erases that moment.
And then
time skips. Bruno's still gonna punch him.
But he's moving himself.
But he's the only one who can move in that skip time.
Okay, so it's like
like Dio can only move in stop time, but this is crazier.
Okay, I think I get it now. I'm seeing more like the world power instead of just simply him skipping time.
Yeah.
But, all right. Mm-hmm. I think I get it. I'm gonna say I get it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
I do like it.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about this fight.
Yeah.
Was the way he walks. Sometimes it's really like it looked choppy.
A couple scenes felt like that actually.
I was like, why is he so choppy? And the way his head moves, it's like weird.
I feel like in the last episode I thought that, I mean, not just the stand, I feel like they just did some really quick cuts. I don't know if they're trying to save time, but it was a small thing that I noticed.
And he makes some really weird faces. Now I remember in the manga.
His face in general just freaks me out. Like, there's a little tinier face on his
That-
forehead.
And I think that represents one of the abilities. I think that tiny thing, like I know what it's called. I don't know if this would be a spoiler or not, so I'm not gonna say it. But
Yeah, don't tell me.
he sees 10 seconds into the future with that, and then his actual stand is like skipping it.
It's kind of like Killer Queen and then that little death bomb.
Kind of like that. Where
Oh.
too.
That's kind of cool. All right, let's.
Did you think? Yeah, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep
Did
moving.
you think Bruno was done for?
Okay, this actually bothered me because in part 3, whenever I saw that smoke, I got feels. I was like, okay, this is
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I feel like in part 5, they're just overdoing it.
They fucking shouldn't have done it on that Grateful Dead fight.
They did it on Mista. They did it on
Yeah.
Bruno. I'm just like, why are you
Yeah.
guys using it so
The
much?
Bruno one made sense. He
didn't
like
die.
actually died. His soul was in the air.
Okay, that bothered me too because I'm like, did you actually die? Because he
They'll
was even
explain-
saying
They'll explain it. You gotta be patient with the Bruno thing. The Mista thing, I agree with, because come on,
he didn't
he's
even-
not dead.
The stand even
His soul
said
hasn't left his body yet, so don't have the smoke, the steam or whatever it is come out. But the Bruno thing, I remember in the manga, I was like, that hit me. I was like, oh shit, he's dead and he's still telling. His soul is so resilient that it's like not ready, and he's telling Juno, we gotta get out of here.
I think since the Ice User fight,
White Album.
him, I feel like the theme of resolve has been really apparent in this arc. Because I'm just like, everybody, Mista, Giorno, Bruno, they're all showing that they have resolve to be good gangsters. Well, not good. I don't think it's a thing. Being successful gangsters.
Yeah.
And they want to complete their mission as much as possible. Only to find out that the man they work for is scum. He actually is scum. He just wants to kill his daughter to cover his ass. And I'm like,
And he is scum.
and that's why it was confusing me. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong,
I'll tell
but
you.
I was looking at that scene in, what was it, last week's episode?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bruno is saying, "Oh, you really brought your daughter here just to get killed?" I'm like, oh, nah, he's stretching. That can't be the real reason, only to find out his dad really, Trish's dad doesn't care. He just wanted to get rid of her because that, like, for some reason she's the last piece of information.
This guy, obviously, we still haven't seen his face.
Yeah.
Nobody in the gang has ever seen his face.
Trish didn't even know that was his father, so like, why are you going after her?
He's so paranoid, and he's so obsessed with his power
Yeah.
that he does not want to lose it by any cost. And he fears that Trish finds out that if she ever sees him and she finds out that he's her father, that could easily lead someone to him.
That's such a long
Which
reach.
is why I was like, yeah. He's so paranoid. And he's a really interesting character. Like, we'll obviously talk about him as the weeks go on. We'll see more of him.
Right.
Because he's not Dio.
He gave me
But
Dio
it's
vibes.
not- You think so?
Not like, okay, he has the same goals of
Yeah.
mindset, but more like, okay, I want to make sure everything goes according to plan. He's very meticulous. He has a whole legion to him. Well, let's
That's
say,
every JoJo villain. They're all
no,
meticulous.
Cars
fuck
Cars
Cars.
wasn't that meticulous. I feel
Cars
like he
is
was more
fine.
just like, I am power. But Dio, maybe even Kira, he was very meticulous too. And
Yeah.
like, I guess I just feel like comparing Dio to, what's the boss's name?
I don't think you've been told the boss's name yet.
Alright, don't tell me. Dio and the boss, I feel like the two of them, they're just so paranoid that that Jotaro or Giorno might be a threat to them, that they want to destroy them at all costs. So they're like, okay, we don't want to have anyone to challenge our power. We gotta get rid of them. And then I don't want to see a similar thing where Giorno has a similar power to King Crimson, the same way.
Well, all the boss
Jojo
wanted
did
to
it.
do, he didn't want to kill Bruno. All he wanted to, he even gave Bruno the opportunity to leave. All he wanted to do was kill Trish, because that could lead people to him, and that's what their goal was. They were like, oh, there's the boss's daughter.
Yeah.
If we get her, we get the boss.
You know what? I take back what I said then. In that case, he's more like Part 4's villain Kira than Dio.
That's what I'm saying. He's kind of like Kira, where he's like,
I don't want anybody to know who I am.
yeah, but he's also like, I don't know how to explain it. He's in a position of power where Kira wasn't.
Yeah. Kira's,
which is why it's interesting.
yeah, like everyone knows who he is, but at the same time, nobody knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, can we jump to another scene?
Yeah.
All right. So like when you hear about Bruno giving his whole crew the choice of staying with me or staying with the organization, everybody's thinking, even though we are willing to be on your side, no one messes with the boss and lives to tell the tale. Like
Right.
Abakio was the first one to be like, I didn't swear any loyalty to you. I swore my loyalty to the organization. But quickly he was just like, I'll still stick with you.
That was touching.
You like that?
The Abakio thing was touching. Because it's like, Abakio is like, this guy's a dick.
Yeah.
And he says that whole spiel, and then he's like, but the only time I'm at ease is when I'm with you. And he gets on, and Giorno's like,
he's like, I respect
Giorno's
you.
like, Abakio. And then he gets on, and then Mista, obviously, you knew Mista was getting on.
Mista's a dude. He's a ride or die dude.
On.
Fugo set this up before anyone else even got on the boat. I was ready to say no one's gonna get going with Bruno. I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. But then I was ready. Like in the back of my head, I was already thinking, okay, they're all gonna have this whole emotional spiel about how if you can either come with me or stay in the organization. I thought they were all gonna get on.
That's what I thought reading.
Yeah, but it's like the way Fugo set it up, I was like, yo, if none of them get on, I'm not ready for this. It'll be just Bruno and Giorno. But nah, most of them did.
That'd be kind of crazy.
I think that'll be a
Bruno
cool
and
story.
Giorno?
Yeah, bro. Maybe
know.
one of them going with them, but not.
There's still some cool stuff ahead.
I'm pretty sure. Don't correct me, but I'm pretty sure Fugo comes back. That's just in the back of my head. If he forgets him though, I'm gonna be very upset because Fugo stands pretty interesting.
I will say you didn't forget him.
Oh God, don't.
You didn't forget him.
He just doesn't use him until the end. Last chapter, he's like, "Yeah, Fugo came back." Oh my God! Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
That doesn't happen.
I don't trust y'all, but okay.
Yes, and then Narancia swimming, and Bruno had like some weird. He legit looked like a chick. His smile at the end, and
he's like, "Oh,
he's like,
you're here for me.
You came back."
Like,
back to King Crimson. It was also cool. He was kind of like Kara, where it's like Dio would have took. I feel like Dio would take all of them on by himself. He would try to, and King Crimson was like,
"I'm not willing to risk it.
I'm not doing this. Their whole crew is here. I'm not coming out of hiding."
But here's the thing: when he said that, he wasn't saying he wouldn't win, or
right.
He was like, I don't want them to
my
discover
identity. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was just like, can you win by yourself? Like you didn't say like I'm afraid for my life. You just said I'm afraid for my identity. Like, that's kind of savage.
He used the Force.
Even in a fight, like in a team fight.
I don't know if we get that situation, but there's a fight.
You don't have to tell me.
There's a fight that's coming.
I see you struggling. Don't tell me.
I've been waiting to get animated since I read it.
Are we close? Like
no.
5 episodes away.
We're not 5 episodes away.
All right.
What are we on, episode 22?
I have no idea.
This will be on like episode. This is like 10 episodes away.
All right. Don't worry. I just see you wanted to tell me, and I'm like,
oh my
I don't want to
God,
know.
that's just gonna be so fucking hype. It's like, you're like, there's no way he's gonna get out of this one.
Right.
Alright, I'll stop.
I mean, to be honest, I said the same thing about the ice armor guy because 3 times in the ice dude fight, I thought they were gonna win, and he kept going. I'm like, you're a monster. I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah.
That was the episode I thought Mista was gonna die, and I'm mad they didn't do the smoke that time. Like that deserved a smoke.
Yeah, dude. You're right. You're right about the smoke thing.
Yeah.
But I think that Mista thing is like the last time that is like used as like a ooh, are they gonna die? Like no, next time it's gonna be like, yeah, that means they're dead.
But I'm just like,
if that happens again in like all of JoJo.
I just feel like that was one of their best concepts in part 3. Just seeing smoky characters and floating into the clouds. Like
That's what made part 3. Yeah, that's what made part 3 like. It's like part 3 and part 5. I go back and forth on which one I like better.
Oh, you like them both better than part 4?
No, part 4 is better than both of those.
Excuse me.
Part 7, part 6, part 4, part 5 and 3 are like tied, and then 2 and 1.
1 is always at the bottom for you.
Yeah, but I like 1. I like 1 now.
You appreciate it more after
One in First 26 episodes of Jojo are coming to Netflix.
Okay.
But abroad, and this is gonna be a bigger Jojo community now.
You mean for manga readers or anime watchers?
Anime watchers. This is gonna be people who like barely watch anime who are like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and they're just gonna turn it on Netflix. And that's what happens with Netflix shows.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that.
Mm-hmm.
But was there anything else I wanted to say?
That's what I'm wondering.
Maybe when they were mad at him. Oh no, we already talked about that when they were skipping time and everyone was affected. But then I was watching how Abakia was still trying to be loyal to Bruno's orders, even though Giorno had every reason to run in. I'm like, Giorno, can you just take like 2 seconds to explain what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, we had a plan with this ladybug, but we didn't want to tell you guys. By the way, the ladybug that turned into a turtle, that was awesome. I wasn't ready for that.
They're fucking geniuses.
Yo.
And Bruno was like hanging. He didn't beat him, but he was hanging with the boss.
I mean, I love watching Bruno's stand fight because every time he does it, I'm just like, damn, he puts in work.
Yeah, he just thinks.
This man has a fist through his chest and he's like, oh, you thought you got me?
Mm-hmm.
Where you going? Where you gonna go? I'm just like,
Yeah.
damn. You thought that real quick. I would have died. Just take it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything else I really want to talk about.
Yeah, we covered everything.
Yeah.
The 2 big scenes were the departure at the end and then the fight.
I'm very excited to see the next episode because actually
I feel like the next episode at the end they were like special event episodes or something. I think it's gonna be like a filler episode.
I just want to see the boss's top men because I feel like from when you have your when you have someone being a traitor or doing treason against you, you gotta bring down the elites. Similar to how when Dio in the second half of JoJo Part 3 he brought out his like top 7 horsemen.
And it was so much better
Yeah.
than the first people they were fighting.
I was
It's
saying
so
this.
much more entertaining.
I think they were entertaining, but I feel like there were a lot of them were no names though. Like
What, in part 2, 3?
in Part 3, remember like
the second half?
the second half, like
I remember
I remember liking a lot of like Darby.
the Darby brothers aren't no names to me.
But I feel like here's my no name. The water dude who fought Jotaro and Iggy, and this guy who took over Polnareff with a sword. I just didn't care about those characters.
Anubis was lame.
Those are 2
Those
characters.
are no names. In Duel, people like that fight.
The water one?
Yeah.
I didn't really
But
care about
yeah.
that one.
But
Like
I'm
there was
talking
some
about like at the end of part 3.
with Vanilla Ice in them.
So Vanilla Ice,
Yeah, I agree with that
the
one.
Darby brothers, Pet Shop.
I agree with Pet Shop, yes. But like there was some
People loved the Mariah fight.
I didn't care about the Oingo Bongo fight.
Boingo Boingo.
With Whole Horse in it, I was just like, I don't care. I liked Whole Horse more than I liked them. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing that was giving me Part 3 vibes. Similar to how in the first half of Part 3 we were getting a bunch of random villains stopping Jotaro and the group every
It's
other
like
week.
that in this episode.
It's like this in this Part 5.
I'm like.
Like, you know, every mission they get, 2 new henchmen show up trying to stop them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That.
You see what I mean, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering who they. The fights are about to get fucking crazy. I just remembered something else. That's about to happen in part 5 that I completely forgot about.
Your face just lit up. You're
Yo.
like, I'm so hyped.
Because I was like, are we done with this? And we're not done.
Yeah.
But the fights, like part 3,
Mhm.
this was kind of like the season finale. But it's not.
Of season 1? I mean, of season 1 of part 5?
If there was a season 1, which is not, this would be it.
Okay.
After this, the fights get even better. At the end, you saw the phone call where it's like,
What he was-
Squallow,
Yeah.
they're blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I
When he
love
gave
that
his order.
fight. That fight's not like God tier, but it's really fun. It's a
Okay.
fun fight. I'll end on that note before I just start, you know.
He's very excited for part 5. So am I. I want to see what happens next with Squallow the Mystery Fighter. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week. And like, comment, and subscribe.